And to tell us more about this, Professor Kim Hyun-wook from the Korean National Diplomatic Academy joins us in the studio today. So good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so a lot came out of that Workers' Party meeting on Friday, and North Korea announced that it will end Kim Jong-un's Byongjin policy on nuclear and economic development, and it also said that it will dismantle its atomic test site at Punggye-ri. So what can we make of North Korea's latest decisions?
Well, I think it's good news at least that the Byongjin policy is remedied. At least the Kim Jong-un's focus is now economic development rather than continuous development of nuclear capabilities. So that's good news. But I don't think any good news that we expect by surprise hasn't come out yet. It's called denuclearization of North Korea. They talked about the destruction of Punggye-ri site, also a stop of any further tests of nuclear weapons and ICBMs. But maybe this would be good precursor for summit meetings between North and South, and also the U.S. and North summit meeting. But I don't know. Maybe if there have been any secret agreement between North Korea and the United States when the Pompeo visited Pyongyang about denuclearization, this is a very good sign, good signal. But if there hasn't been any deals or secret agreements between two countries, I think we have to see how the North Korea proceeds about its promise of denuclearization. When he meets President Trump and talk about the regime guarantee of North Korea.
So kind of going along with that, I mean, it seems that we can't really let our guards down yet because North Korea didn't give any indication as to giving up its already developed nuclear weapons.
Yes, this has been the same problem when we have talked about the denuclearization in the six-party process. I think it was 2007 or 8, sometime like that, when this other 5 parties and North Korea was talking about the second phase of denuclearization, talked about the monitoring and verification of the nuclear production facilities inside North Korea and also nuclear materials. But at that time, North Korea also said that only the future nuclear capabilities are the targets of verification, not already existing nuclear capabilities of North Korea. So I think this time North Korea is trying to keep the nuclear capabilities and ICB capabilities that North Korea already have developed. So that itself should be the targets of denuclearization, but haven't talked anything about those weapon capabilities. So that's something that is uncertain yet about the denuclearization issues.
And like you mentioned earlier, it seems that Kim Jong-un is quite determined to boost the North Korean economy. So what do you think Kim has in mind in regards to its regime's economy?
I think he's reading the future of North Korea. I mean, it's very clear that it's not North Korea that can keep his regime alive. It's more about what North Korean people think about the regime itself.
Right.
If North Korean people think, oh, economy is terrible, what are we doing? We need something. I mean, there are still already some North Korean economic system inside is operated by market system, informal market system. The people are grumbling about the bad economic situations if that system is not operated okay. And also, if people think that, okay, our economy is bad and also Kim Jong-un regime is dictatorship, that's something we cannot bear anymore, that will be the serious inherent threat to regime in the future, not nuclear weapons. So I think this time he made the right choice, but we'll see how it goes. It might not be an easy case for him to keep his regime alive in the future with his dictatorship alive. I mean, he's trying to mimic the system of China, but Chinese system and North Korean system is different. I mean, it's the same socialist system, but it's not dictatorship at all. I mean, now it's a little bit different. Xi Jinping is kind of gearing towards a dictatorship, but I mean, that's the right decision, but we'll see how it goes in the future.
I mean, it seems that Kim Jong-un really wants to get himself rid of the maximum pressure that it's under with economic sanctions and all. But now, how would such changes, though, coming from North Korea recently, affect the upcoming summit on Friday between the two Koreas, and as well as the summit with President Trump sometime in May or June?
Well, at least the atmosphere is okay, at least for the North-South summit meetings. Of course, in response to these messages in North Korea, we also have made some measures to rescind the propaganda by loudspeakers towards North Korea. So I think the atmosphere is really good. I mean, maybe we can come and the two leaders come together, and maybe the outcome would be really good. I'm not sure about the North Korea-U.S. summit meetings. I mean, the clear, objective of the United States is denuclearization and, removing the ICBMs of North Korea. Of course, some of the conditions North Korea requests, they require the 5 conditions already. I'm not sure those all of the 5 conditions provided by North Korea will be accepted by the United States or not. That's the key issues, but we'll see how it goes. The U.S. and North Korea have to talk and talk about, discuss what kind of conditions they require and will be accepted by each other. That's the key issues, how the current atmosphere would be really successful in the summit meeting.
Well, they'll somehow have to find a point to agree on.
Sure.
And now during this meeting, what's interesting is that Kim Jong-un reaffirmed that he will seek active dialogue and close contact with neighboring countries, which is something that we did not expect to come out of North Korea before. But now this change in behavior, I guess, from Kim Jong-un.
Yes, I think in order for economic prosperity and development, they need some kinds of dialogue and communications and some kinds of exchanges with other countries. I think so. These kinds of needs of communicating with neighboring countries is something essential for the economic prosperity. And the target country, I think, would be Japan. Now the North Korea is doing good change with South Korea, the U.S. and Russia and China, and even Mongolia. They are having good relationship. The only country that they haven't talked yet is Japan.
Right.
So I think it would be the Japan-North Korea talk that they're intending to target.
So we can't rule out a possible summit between Japan and North Korea, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I think they have their own interests that they expect from each other. Economic support by Japan to North Korea, and maybe Japan will expect those Japanese that has been went up to North Korea and hasn't been back to Japan. So all that kind of exchanges would be the agenda in the summit meeting, I think.
All right, so with that big summit coming up today, we had a big news coming out in regards to South Korea stopping its propaganda loudspeakers alongside the border with North Korea. What can we make of this movement?
Was surprised because all the measures to lower the tensions in the Korean Peninsula I expected would be happen after the summit meeting, but happened already. So I think South Korea is very active in the developing the inter-Korean relations, also in tension freeze and tension lowering measures. So I think this would be very good basis for the summit meeting. But I'm not sure what kinds of key agenda the South Korean government is preparing for, because there are not really many measures to boost the inter-Korean relations.
Right.
All the economics are related. Inter-Korean relations has been pretty much contained by the international community sanctions on North Korea. So maybe some other issues like how North and South Korea would agree upon the common fishing area in the West Sea, also this separated families reunion
right.
issues. I think all those kinds of agenda, I think, will be talked in the summit meeting.
All right. Now, we're also expecting to see President Moon and Kim Jong-un to directly talk to one another over that hotline that was established last Friday. What can we expect from that?
I'm not sure if they can talk before the summit meeting. Maybe or maybe not. I mean,
that was their goal, though, right?
Yeah, that was the original plan was to have a phone call before the summit starts. Maybe they will talk. I'm not sure what they're going to talk, but the talk itself is important because that by having a first talk and be institutionalized in the future periodically, they can have phone calls. Very important because leaders talk and solve all the issues that is very tricky and no good. I mean, whenever there are some issues that heighten the tensions in the Korean Peninsula, North and South Koreas always have problems how to deal with it.
Right.
What is the first step they have to talk to? For example, the military people at the front, they have no idea how to deal with those issues. But if a hotline by leaders is open, it's very easy. They can talk and what's your problem? Okay,
right.
This is my problem, my intention. Okay, and it's very quick and easy way to, solve all the issues in the inter-Korean relations. So I think that is the meanings in the hotline between two summit leaders.
Well, definitely positive developments that we've been seeing recently. Thank you so much for your insight today.
Thank you very much.